Hello everyone, we are Team Inndox and our project is completely based on blockchain technology. My name is Chinjeev Tunuguntla and I would like to introduce my team members. Sagat Pada, the team leader, Melvin Frost, the scrum master, Bautik Kumar Patel, the developer and tester, and myself, I worked as a developer and tester. Initially, I would like to thank our client Inndox company for giving us this opportunity to work with them, and also would like to thank our project supervisors Mustafa and Azade for guiding and supporting us in each and every phase of the project lifecycle. Moving to the project, what is Inndox? To make life easier for property owner, our client developed a software to store all the information regarding property in one place. This software is a digital property logbook to capture, manage, and share property information from planning to completion and future owners. Whenever a property is handed over to property owner through builder, all the documents and information regarding that property is stored by Inndox in Amazon S3 database. This has provided them with security, but they want more. So for that, we look into problem statement. As Inndox is storing digitized documents in the database, so they may arise the question of documents integrity at some point. And also, property fraud has been in rise. Forging documents and signatures or even identity theft has been common in real estate industry. That is why our client Inndox want to make sure the documents stored are reliable and the documents stored are not tampered to gain trust from the clients. This problem has led us to starting this project. So moving to the user requirements. Based on the problem statement, following the user requirements given by our client, they wanted us to find a suitable blockchain-based database for the current Inndox system. After that, the client wanted us to design and develop that research database. We have to make sure the developed database is immutable and transparent, ultimately providing trust to the clients. So for that, we'll first look into blockchain technology. So what is blockchain? Like the name indicates, a blockchain is a chain of blocks which contains information. It is originally intended to timestamp digital documents, so it is not possible to backdate them or tamper them, which is almost like a notary. Each block contains hash data, hash of the previous block. In that, data is the original data that is stored in the block and hash is the ID of each block, where it recognizes individual block and it is unique. If anything changes inside the block, the hash will also get changed. In turn, that will make all the following blocks invalid because no single block has the valid ID of the previous block. After a lot of research on finding a suitable blockchain technology for our project, we have came up with Amazon QLDB. QLDB provides a complete and accurate way to keep records with an immutable database and verifies history of all application data changes. It delivers the following benefits: immutable and transparent, tracking and maintain a sequence of record of each and every change to data which is permanently stored and can't be deleted or modified. Cryptographic verification. It uses the same basic functionality of blockchain basic technology. It uses SHA-256 hash function to generate secure output file. Easy to use. It has a flexible data module which lets you easily operate on a data using particular language. Serverless. It automatically scales with our application and we don't have to worry about the provisional capacity. Since it is centralized, doesn't require multiple parties to agree one another before committing transactions in a ledger. I would like to ask my teammate Melvin to further continue with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chiran, for that insightful presentation. I am Melvin and I am here to demonstrate our product. Hope you enjoy our product demo video. Cheers! Hi guys, I'm back. I'm here to continue our presentation and I will be presenting our literature review. The team have looked into different articles regarding ledger database wherein QLDB is categorized. QLDB stands for Quantum Ledger Database. In an article authored by Shang, he noted a disadvantage of a ledger database, that the volume of data grows over time and it leads to an expensive maintenance cost. However, in three separate articles, the authors agreed with the key concept of the advantages for a ledger database. Allen stressed that data is trusted in a ledger database. Auditability is closely related to the trusted data. Moreover, Raikkoar mentioned the importance of data immutability, which means data is tamper resistant. Likewise, Jacob highlighted the promotion of data transparency in a ledger database. This means the visibility of data across the ledger and tracking each data changes. Overall, the benefit outweighs the downsides. And in Amazon QLDB, you pay only for what you use. The team also researched on what development tools to use. The author Flood discussed that C# provides both object-oriented and component-based approach. C# is also compatible with the programming language currently used by Inndox. Thus, we decided to use C#. As for the IDE, Integrated Development Environment, and framework, the author Del Sole talked about Visual Studio Code as a very powerful code-focused development environment, which makes it easy to edit code files and support different frameworks such as .NET. Visual Studio Code and .NET is again compatible with the client's development environment. Therefore, we adapted Visual Studio Code and .NET. As for the other tools, for client and supervisor request, we use Trello and Confluence for our project management tools, and we use Slack, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom for our collaboration tools. To continue with our presentation, I will be handing it over to my very good friend, Sogat.
Thank you, Melvin. Hello, everyone. My name is Sogat Portal, and I'm here to describe you the methodology that we took for our project. So, how was the product developed? For our product, we thought about going with Agile Scrum process. We did some research onto that topic, and we found that based on the time criteria and also the requirement, this one was the best choice for us to go forward because we could divide our tasks into various sprints, create a product backlog, sprint backlog, and then review it weekly or twice in a week, and then we can also do daily scrum with the scrum master and then join it for our completed product. So we divide our tasks into three sprints, and then first sprint was for us to find a suitable blockchain based framework, and that was for us to do research on it, but we took a little bit longer time to do that. That's why we had to move blockchain based infrastructure test environment to sprint 2. We couldn't do that on time, but we did map our business processes and created the test cases and test plan, which will be further described in this video. So for our sprint 2, the first thing we did was to set up a testing environment for developing and testing, and then after that was done, we started creating application programming interface, that is an API. As we are working with QLDB, we need to make sure that QLDB is connected with current S3 database, which is being used by Inndox, and then every time a document is stored in is an S3, then the tag is extracted from that one, and then it is stored in our QLDB as a immutable ledger, so that it cannot be deleted and the data transparency can be maintained. But we couldn't execute the test cases for all our program because we're a little bit behind for our program creating API. That's why it was moved to sprint 3. For sprint 3, as we did gradual weekly meeting with our client, we were given 2 additional list to do, and that was to create an additional API that can process the S3 document path and tag by giving any parameter like property owner ID or property owner properties ID, and then we were able to do that on sprint 3, and then we executed the additional test related to that task, and then we fixed our bug and did some retest. Now I'll be showing how our product will be used by our client, that is Inndox. So whenever Inndox is making a deal with their client, and they will take the property documents and then they will store it in their current Amazon S3 database. After the file is stored, a unique e-tag is generated. This e-tag can not be altered or deleted without the permission of Amazon S3. There's the security part for that one, but we have to make sure that it's immutable, like the data integrity is preserved. It can never be 100%. For that we developed an Amazon QLDB ledger. So the unique e-tag that is generated will be stored in Amazon QLDB ledger along with document owner ID, and then the property ID, uploader ID, and also the document file path of Amazon S3 for the particular document. By doing so, what we can do is, if like somebody changes the document, then the e-tag will be altered. And if you are confused, or if you have some suspicious about, you are suspicious about the data integrity, you can just come to our laser. You can give your document owner ID or property ID, and then it will it will generate the unique e-tag and also directly verify it for you, as you can see, as you have already seen on the project demo shown by Melvin. And then the e-tag is verified. If it's verified, that's good enough. But if it's not verified, then that means somebody has tampered with the file, and then the client can go further to rectify the issue. And along with that, as we are using two separate databases, it can be harder for the client or the user to find actual documents. So for that, to make it more easier, we had also developed a program where they can give their ID, like property or owner ID, and then they can get the Amazon S3 file path for that particular document. Now they can use that file path and directly access their file from Amazon S3. It will make their tasks a lot more easier. So by doing so, we have properly maintain a document integrity and then also its immutability. On top of that, the e-tag can also be shared with all the related parties of that document, like the Inndox and then their client, that is property owner or property builder, anyone that is related to that particular document. And if somebody wants to check data integrity, they can just come into Amazon QLDB, use our laser and verify the data integrity, and that will make sure that the trust is built along all the parties related to that document. So for further process, I like to give my I like to ask Mr. Bautik for other presentation.
Thank you Saugat and team for your presentation. Hello everyone, my name is Bautik Kumar Patel and I will be continuing with the presentation. For any software, developing is never enough, as a testing is one of the crucial aspects of a development. As you can see in the screen, there are four fundamental methods of requirement verification. In inspection, we didn't do anything for inspection because it needs to physical evaluation. As a demonstration part, you need to verify your expected results and actual results through the testing. So we finalize whatever expected results is actual results. In a testing part, you need to test your system with test cases, and after applying your code and some calculation, you need to identify what the test cases is done, and we got some expected result as an actual result on testing part. In the final one, you need to analyze the product or system with your system. So after applying all this calculation and testing equipments and different things on your system, we finalize and validate our analysis and system is perfect. Another important point, does the product satisfy the user story? So we already applied the test cases from our user stories and acceptance criteria. So in the first one, we visualize the workflow, whatever we done from the according to our user stories criteria and then acceptance criteria. After that, you can apply or maybe need to verify something or maybe get some errors to need to fix bugs. So we apply the negative testing as well, so we can make changes whatever we get error in this one. But all things need to minimize and maximize your boundary control for your test cases as well. On the testing part, as we did acceptance testing as our main testing phase according to the test cases we brought in our sprint 1. You can see the final screenshot after the testing was done. Here you can see with the proper IMA username and password we were able to connect to Amazon QLDB. As we are storing data in Amazon S3 before storing the unique e-tag generated from there in Amazon QLDB, we had to make sure to ability to log in into Amazon S3 to store files. You can see in this screenshot we were able to do so. After logging into Amazon QLDB, we were able to create Inndox Laser. This can be done either directly through console or through the code that we brought and demonstrated by Melvin earlier. Furthermore, we were also able to create tables, insert data related to documents in Amazon QLDB, which you can see in the screenshot here. To make it easier to understand, Amazon QLDB has an iron format data, and in the screenshot here you can see our table in the Amazon iron format. We have all the information needed to verify the document integrity in this table. We were able to access the e-tag from both Amazon S3 and Amazon QLDB and verify it as shown by Melvin earlier. But further, to increase security, the journal in a QLDB can be exported to Amazon S3, which we're able to do, as you can see the notification saying successfully exported the journal in the screenshot. Here in the screenshot you can, after the journal was exported, to be uploaded in S3 within the exported year. That is, as we exported journal in 2020, our main folder starts with 2020. Further inside you can see same with month and date. It makes it easier for user to find the data. As you have all seen in this project, to fulfill user requirements, we used Agile Scrum method for our project and develop an Amazon QLDB ledger. Data can be stored in the ledger and is stored using SHA 256 encryption. Doing this, we were able to achieve immutability, transparency and trust, and also satisfy our user story. This is our reference and we used during this presentation. This is it for our presentation. Now we will be presenting our project demo. We were glad to answer your queries. Thank you.